Hey everyone, welcome to cilinixfxcapital. I'm very excited about the upcoming video in which we will do an interview with the head of near staking at Stader. We will talk about what happened to the contract because the contract was paused. Also about how they solved the issues and how the security has been improved to almost 100%. And stick around because in the end we will also talk about some amazing staking rewards you can easily get by staking near at Stader when they relaunch it. So let's get into it. All right, welcome back everybody. Let's get right into this interview. First, Anuti, can you introduce yourself to us real quick?
Absolutely, Heel. Thank you so much for hosting me and for doing this interview. Hi, everyone. I'm Anuti. I'm the head of Terra and Near at Stader and also looking on all the blockchains based on the Rust code. And prior to joining Stader, I was working for a company in the US. And before that, I graduated from Harvard Business School in the class of 2021. Right before business school, I worked initially as a consultant, did a lot of work in the fintech space, and then joined as chief of staff to the CEO of APY. So have had an extensive experience in finance, strategy, and operations, and really wanted to do something at the intersection of finance and technology. And what we're trying to do at State just at the right intersection of my interests, and have been investing in crypto over the last 5 years. So I just thought that why not take the leap and actually turn it into a profession. And what a ride it has been. I must say that it has been really an amazing learning experience. So super grateful to be here and to be talking to all of you about all the updates and progress we are making on Near.
Yeah, well, great introduction. Welcome, Anuti, to this interview, and we will be talking about Stader and then mainly Near Protocol and how that implementation has been going and what's going on, basically. So why don't we start with the numbers and the milestones you touched in the launch of Near on Stader and Near X, because I believe it was quite good, the launch. So why don't we talk about that first, how it went in the beginning?
Absolutely, Heel. So it was really an overwhelming response. And I'm super grateful to the community for such a warm welcome into the Near ecosystem. We launched on the 9th of August around 4 p.m. UTC, and we reached about $5 million in TVL in just the first 48 hours. So that was pretty terrific. And by the end of the first week, we had touched over $14 million in TVL, and our liquidity pool on Ref Finance had crossed $3 million in TVL, and our liquidity pool on Jumbo had become the biggest pool on Jumbo. So those were, pretty record-breaking results, and it really gave us the confidence that what we were trying to build was of great value to the community, and we would really be there to stay and build a deeper DeFi ecosystem on Near.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great launch, and it was definitely. I mean, if you were looking at the or the state or near Twitter at that time, the community around it seems amazing, and that's a great start altogether. I have to
Thank
say,
you so
definitely also with Ref Finance and that you became the biggest pool, and that you can see that people actually use that liquid staking opportunities at Stader. So that's a great thing to hear and also see. And then kind of continuing on that, can you talk a little bit about what exactly happened with the contract later on and the immediate steps taken? So a little bit about what happened and kind of the what happened afterwards, what your response was
much.
from Stader.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like I said, we launched on the 9th of August, and we had close to a week of runway. And something really unexpected happened on the 16th of August, which was just at the 1 week mark. And what happened was that a vulnerability in the NearX smart contract got exploited. We This was absolutely unexpected because we had two audits before launching NearX, and so we were audited by Halvern, and the BlockSec audit was almost near finish. And what happened was that the exploiter actually leveraged this vulnerability to mint close to 20 million NearX by transferring NearX to his own account in a loop. And this is a functionality that is unique to the Near ecosystem, and this somehow got missed in the audits, and this resulted in so much of NearX getting minted, and then the exploiter moved to the dexes and started draining the Near from the LPs. We technically caught this in a matter of just a few minutes, However, there was approximately 165 K near that was drained from the LPs. Fortunately, the losses were contained only to that, and the 2.5 million near that was staked on the Stader app was 100% safe with the validators. And while this is not how any of us expected this to turn out, it has been internally a great learning experience in terms of managing such a crisis and what more can we do to go above and beyond in terms of security, as well as how to handle and keep community at the center of everything we do, even in the aftermath of such a crisis. In terms of the way Stader responded to this, I think we have always kept community front and center, and so the most obvious and clear decision was to reimburse the entire 165K near that was lost on the LPs. And while that is being taken care of, we are parallelly working on a multi-layer security solution and ensuring, first of all, that we leave no stone unturned in terms of making this the most secure protocol going forward on Near. So I will be happy to talk about it in detail during the course of the interview, or if you want me to cover it now, let me know.
Yeah, well, I do want to highlight. I think that's good to know. I mean, to me, it was also really unexpected because I felt like definitely like starting with Nero Stader, you already had 2 audits. I mean, that's great security, or you would at least think that's great security, and you can at least say that a lot has been done about the security. And usually, I mean, most projects only have 1 audit, and then it's all right. But it's so it was really native to Near protocol and how that blockchain worked, and that's why it was unexpected. But you said about the reimbursement, so that is, I think, one of the biggest questions that the users and the community is waiting for. Like, all of the liquidity pool losses will be reimbursed, right? How's that being covered?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I mentioned, the total losses were contained to approximately 165K near on the dexes, that is Ref and Jumbo. The reimbursements have been split into 3 different categories. First is the pre-exploit reimbursement. So we are taking a pre-exploit snapshot based on which the holdings of the users on the LPs in terms of NearX and Near will be reimbursed in full. It will be transferred directly to their wallets at the time of relaunch of the upgraded NearX, and users will get the entire balance of their LPs back. The second scenario was during the exploit. So what happened was that after the exploit, users were still interacting with the LPs on the DEXs, and they gave in Near to get GearX back in return. So what we are trying to do here is that we will reimburse the users the entire Near amount that they invested to interact with NearX, and that will also be reimbursed in full. And the third scenario is the post-exploit scenario, when the NearX transfers were paused, but the users were still trying to engage with the LPs on the DEXs. And so the Near they gave, could not be turned into a NearX, and the funds were stuck in the inner accounts of Ref and Jumbo. So we are working with both Ref and Jumbo to figure out the easiest solution to draw these funds and reimburse it to the users. And we will soon come up with a detailed reimbursement plan around this. Rest assured, all the funds that were owed to the users will be reimbursed in full, and that is one thing that Stader will definitely commit to the users going forward.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I do want to give my compliments to you because, to be honest, I mean, looking at the whole crypto sphere over the last, for the entirety of 2022, I mean, there have been a lot of hacks, and in my opinion, none of the hacks and none of the bankruptcies have been handled with care and with looking at the community. So, first of all, my compliments on how you handled the situation. I think it really is a great example for the entire crypto sphere. And that's also something I will bring to my community because I really think it's a great thing. But now talking about the future for Near, especially on Stader. What is the way ahead, and what security measures are being taken up, and what security measures are you bringing to Near on Stader to actually make it more secure and to prevent this from happening in the future?
Yes, absolutely. Security has literally been on our mind ever since. It has always been a priority for Stader, I would like to say, and we have not never thought about it as hard as we have thought over the last few weeks. So we are really leaving no stone unturned to take as many security measures as possible. The first one we are doing is that we are onboarding a third auditor, OSEC, which comes highly recommended from the Near Foundation and Proximity Labs. They have experience of working prior on Solana, and they have done some great work on Near. So that is the first step we are taking. The second thing we are doing is that our existing auditors, Halburn and BlockSec, are re-auditing the entire upgraded NearX code from scratch by onboarding an absolutely new team of engineers. So this will be a completely fresh pair of eyes that will look at the upgraded NearX smart contract. So in all technicalities, we are undergoing 3 new audits for the upgraded NearX smart contract, with BlockSec and OSEC having experience on the Near ecosystem specifically. The second thing we are working on is a bug bounty program. So as soon as the code gets audited and is ready to be open sourced, we will launch the bug bounty program in collaboration with ImmuneFi, where white hackers can earn a really sizable bounty for identifying bugs depending on the criticality of those bugs. The third thing we are working on is really enforcing and bolstering the internal testing process. And that means including more peer reviews, adding further checkpoints, and even doing some sort of an internal breakathon even before the code actually reaches the auditors, to make sure that the code has been truly stress tested, even internally within the team. And the last thing we are doing is that we're trying to add security plugins into the contract. So we are building in security functionalities in terms of alerts based on any malicious wallet interacting with us, and also adding pause functionalities, as well as working with protocols like Happy to explore if there are any security plugins that can be added in terms of pool monitoring, etc. So really doing everything that is in our capacity to make this as secure as possible. And I think some things cannot be avoided, but in the aftermath of this, the whole objective is to set a true gold standard in security with respect to liquid staking solution on Near.
Yeah, well, it seems like you're doing everything. And before that, like I said too, I mean, I had no doubts about the security of Stader, but now it almost feels like the most secure most secure way to stake in the entire cryptosphere. I mean, what you're doing is amazing in improving that security, even though, like you said, I mean, some things cannot be avoided. I think you in the beginning already did a lot to at least maximize that security, but now it should be 100% secure, I think. So now a little bit more about the practicality and some practical things. What are the launch plans for the upgraded NearX from Stader?
Yes, so super excited to launch the upgraded NearX. When we launched on the 9th of August, we came up with some really exciting rewards for the users. We had close to $150,000 in rewards on staking an LP over and above the native staking yield. And we also introduced exciting competitions like the Guild Wars, where members of guilds were getting even additional rewards for staking with Stader. So all of those I'm going to promise are going to stay. So we will bring all those incentives back and more. So what I can say is that the incentives will be higher than before, and all the exciting competitions will definitely be there, including like multiple giveaways, exciting staking competitions. So please be on the watch out for that, and follow our socials, which is Stader__near on Twitter, to learn about all the competitions that are and exciting rewards coming your way. In terms of launch timelines, we are contingent on the audits. So this time around, we will really wait for the entire audit to be completed and be 100% sure before launching. And so if everything goes well and we receive no red flags by the end of this week from OSEC and BlockSec, then we will be good to launch by the mid of September. And depending on if there is any feedback, those dates might change a little, but so far it has been really good, and there have been no major feedback from the auditors. So feeling confident about that date. And all I can say is that the upgraded NearX will really bring the gold standard in security and try to be the most secure network available to the users. On top of the three auditors, the bug bounty, the internal testing, and the integrations, we are also working with the developers in the proximity team and in the ecosystem generally to run by our code and see if they approve of it. And we are talking to all the protocols to take any feedback possible on anything more that we can do. So really excited to be back and stronger than ever before is what I can say. So definitely this is going to be great for the long term, both for Stader and for the users. And be on the watch out for like crazy rewards and really exciting integrations and the most secure interface. And in terms of integrations, we will go live with our LP on Ref and Jumbo, and also on Tonic Dex, which is the order book Dex, and the LP on Trisolaris will also come soon. And then the integration with Burrow will follow in a couple of weeks from there. And in a month from the launch on DRX, we will also be live on Aurora.
All right, amazing and very exciting indeed. And I want to say to everybody watching too. I mean, the moment it's up, I'll also post another video on it on the YouTube channel. I also did a video on that when it was still possible to use, like in the beginning. But a new
Yeah.
one will come up, and there are great rewards to be gained. So that's exciting. So yeah. And about the socials too. I mean, all the socials of Stader and especially Near on Stader will also be down in the description, and you can find them on my socials too. So be on the lookout for that as well. And now to kind of to close off this interview, can you tell us a little bit more about what's coming on Stader in general? Maybe some other blockchains or some other great developments you can think of right now?
Absolutely. So, at Stader, we have really been executing at rocket speed. We launched on the November of last year on the erstwhile Terra, reached $1 billion during the peak, and now we are present on 6 different blockchains. And the plan really is to be the leading liquid staking solution and onboard 1 billion plus users onto liquid staking so that they can earn passive income through this great opportunity. And so the objective is to launch on as many POS blockchains as possible. The ones in the pipeline immediately are Aptos and Sui, which look like 2 really exciting ecosystems that are coming up. And the pipeline is just getting built on even as we are talking. So looking at expanding on ETH, Solana, all of that is definitely in the books. And by the end of this year, hopefully that's number 6 grows by a multiple. So that is the broad objective. And then we are also looking at some exciting new initiatives. It's slightly too early to speak about that, but Stader is also looking to expand beyond staking and see how we can add value in other white spaces as well. So that is definitely in the works.
All right, amazing. Our community and I will definitely be keeping an eye out for that. For now, though, I want to thank you for your time and for the information. I think it was great, and I think there's definitely a lot of information and everything that people want to know about what's going on, what happened, and what's going to happen in the future. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to wish you a great rest of the day. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
bye. I hope to
Thank
see
you
you
so
soon
much
again
for
and speak to you again.